I think there's definitely a huge groundswell of scientists who are looking for some kind of change, something different. I mean, from the time that I was, coming up as an undergraduate to a grad student, and now looking at it from the outside, and looking at people who are talking about the science community, the number of people who are trying to find resources for scientists to join into some kind of community, to find ways that they can get those relevant papers more easily. I mean, I feel like there is definitely some kind of sea change that's occurring.
Well, let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater. I mean, this is an important and valuable process that's been evolved over a century or more, right? So, and it works.
Yep, several
It does
centuries.
work.
It works. It works fine.
But if people want to change
it may put pressure on
obviously
grad
there's-
students, but then professors. But that's not necessarily, a reason to toss it, is it?
The process of academic publishing, the peer reviewing, the making sure everything's correct, disseminating, and so on, it does work. But what you're saying, Kiki, is basically the people are frustrated now that there are potentially better solutions and perhaps more efficient solutions, for instance, for dissemination.
Well, I certainly know of many librarians who say, we don't want all those journals anymore. We'd just as soon have it online. It's searchable.
Exactly.
But that doesn't replace the methodology.
Exactly. The method is like I say, it's been evolved for hundreds of years, and you can tweak the method and play with it, and we do that. But at the end of the day, you're still publishing a scientific paper, and it's still real scientists publishing it. It's still cited by other papers. It still counts towards their career track, and so on.
So you're just going the same way that other print media is going. You're going online.
Oh,
basically.
We've gone online.
Online.
For 10, 15 years now.
Has it been that long?
Academic journals have been online. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What is happening now, I think the next step is going fully online. I mean, there's been a long period of being hybrid, so being both print and online.
Right.
And now what we're seeing, I think, is journals coming out as online-only journals, and that's what our journals are in PLOS. Mm-hmm. And I think it's that step, the ability to go online only, the fact that people are no longer wedded to the paper version, a dead tree sitting on a shelf somewhere. That's really enabling some of the new business models, for instance, the open access business model that we advocate. So I think it's that step, going online only, that is really turning the switch.
There's an inherent scarcity in print, in paper, that there isn't online.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I imagine there's some people who like to keep that scarcity going. They make money on it, or there's less competition because fewer people have the information, or whatever. But is there any real opposition to going online besides those few outliers? I mean, why wouldn't everybody just go online?
I mean, not necessarily opposition, but there's reluctance. There's worries. There's the Library of Alexandria problem. If it all goes online and then the internet crashes tomorrow from some super virus...
I'd say it's the opposite. The problem with the Alexandria Library is there's one copy and it burned down, right?
But of course there's not one copy. I mean, there's thousands of distributed paper
it's
copies.
All over. Yeah, this is better. This is better.
Until we run out of oil and we can't generate electricity anymore or something
Somebody
stupid.
should get a dot matrix printer and print it out once.
So there are genuine worries about the long-term archiving, of course, and those haven't been solved yet. So librarians do worry about having a paper copy sitting on the shelf.
I guess that makes sense.
And there's also certain ways of reading that people like to read in paper. People like to read a journal on the toilet, for instance, or on the subway.
Get a Kindle.
You can get a Kindle, but that's literally in the last year or two, of course. So, I mean, we're talking about a very fast-moving publishing field. But, yeah, I mean, a Kindle is the way it's going, of course.
It seems, I mean, there's just-in-time printing, very high-quality printing, so it seems like a print copy is not... I mean, if you're a library and you want a print copy, make one.
Mm-hmm. So let's turn a little to, like, the massive amount of data and information, research papers that are out there. I mean, people are published. There are more scientists now than ever, and people are publishing like mad. I mean, there are so many research papers coming out in so many thousands of journals. It's almost impossible to keep track of, and then to also pull out the little nuggets of gold from all the rest. Jason, with what you're working on, how are you helping to pull from the power of fellow scientists to do that?
Well, I think traditionally people have relied on journals to filter all that mess for them, instead of letting all the science come out there and letting, let's say, a computer algorithm filter it for them and find the relevant information for them. Mm-hmm. So there's this tons and tons of data that you're talking about that people are just missing out on because it's been filtered for them by human editors that can't possibly know what is relevant to every single researcher in a particular field. So with Mendeley, what we're hoping to do is then break up the journal and let articles at the individual level be discovered. And so we can find these lower impact articles, these articles that are appearing in lower impact journos.
That's the last FM model. Do it by singles instead of albums. Yeah.
Right. So if you're normally a mainstream music listener, but the algorithm would know you would like this particular indie song,
it'll find it.
It'll find it for you. And so carrying the analogy to research, then people are not able to find those independent music songs.